myself and my journey as, you know, you guys are all young. Everybody wants to play. Raise your hand if you want to play a college athletic at the next level. About more than half of you, right? So kind of the journey that I went through, and I didn't do a good job of trusting the process. I didn't have someone like myself or Coach Brian to tell me to trust the process. So when I tell my kids, what I mean by trust the process, that means that we're more worried about where you in than where you start, because everybody has to start somewhere. So kind of going through my journey, all right? So you see me, I'm 6'2", you know, 200 pounds. As a 8th grader, I was 5'1", maybe 100 pounds, okay? As a freshman, I was 5'3", you know, probably soaking wet, 95 pounds. My brother played Division I football across the way at University of Idaho. As a freshman, yep, climbing up Idaho. So he's a vandal. 6'1" as a freshman, okay? And I'm, you know, 8 inches shorter. And I'm like, when am I gonna grow? When am I gonna grow? I'm never gonna grow. So I was very impatient because my brother was getting recruited as a freshman. Here I am, just this little guy, okay? The summer of my sophomore year, I grew from 5'3" to 5'9", right? Could barely walk. I got this knob on my knee, Osgood Slaughter. My body didn't know what to do. Great, right? You grew that much. It took me a whole year to figure out my coordination. Here are my brothers, you know, getting all these coaches calling him, and I'm still not there yet. So continue. I played C team as a sophomore, JV as a junior. My senior year, I did not start a varsity game. I did not play my first 3 games as a varsity player. So who talked about, so Luca kind of mentioned assuming a role. So I was like, I gotta find my place, right? I'm athletic, I'm fast, I wasn't a scorer, I was kind of a point guard growing up. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna guard whoever the best player is on the court. Defensive stopper is who I was. So I made that my role, and then I went from the last guy on the bench to the 6th man by the 8th game, because I went at all of our guys in practice, just locking them up, going at them. So this is why I also talk about compete, okay? Going at somebody, giving your best. So by the end of the season, I was our 6th man, our defensive stopper. I guarded Marcus Trufant, played for the Seahawks. Larry Stevens was an NFL player, went to Michigan as a D. Curtis Allen, a lot of really good players. One of my good friends, Andy Burley, I went to a different high school as him. He went to Battleground, I went to Evergreen, and I had to guard him two times a game. I come off the bench, I'm guarding him. Before 2 years ago, he was an all-time 3-point shooter at Colorado State University. Hall of Famer at Colorado State, and great player. So that was my role. And then the season ended. My brother was at Idaho. I was kind of like, oh, I'm going to go play. I'm just going to go try and walk on at Idaho. And then if it happens, if not, I'm just going to go live with my brother and just ride off his coattails. Nothing happened. I moved up to Seattle. After I graduated, I was probably 5'9", going to 5'10". I grew to like 6'1", like in 2 inches over the summer. And I was just jumping out of the gym, just dunking on everybody, top of the square. So I went from 5'1" to...
Top of the square, okay? See the square? On the hoop? The top of it. I'm just saying. Okay?
He can fact check it. Yes.
You touch the top of the square.
Top of the square.
I just want to clarify something.
No, I'm 43. That was 20-something years ago. So there was all that. So then it kind of was, all right, Bellevue Community College was close by. I was playing out on these playgrounds, and one of the kids like, oh, my teacher's the head coach at Bellevue. So he's like, oh, you should come to open gym. Came to open gym, you know, did some athletic things. The coach started talking to me. They had another kid, Mike Westfall, was coming in, so no money. He's like, you're happy to, you know, you're welcome to walk on, but I don't have a spot for you. And I was like, all right, time to compete. So I went from 15th man, there's only 12 on a team, but JUCO, they keep a lot. 15th man to before Christmas break. So we start November, Christmas break, you know, December. I was the 6th man again. So I worked my way up being a defensive stopper just because that was my role. I excelled at it, and I loved it because stopping someone's better than me scoring. And then I broke my hand. So the coach is like, you can either redshirt or finish out the year. I redshirted, okay. Fast forward, okay, playing with Brian. Came off the bench, I led our team in scoring at Bellevue. And season ended, didn't really know if I wanted to play. I was talking to a couple coaches, and this is a cautionary tale as well. Grades, 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 grades. I tell everybody when I was young, they're like, you're a student athlete? You guys are student athletes. I was an athletic student. Like, I cared about basketball, school second, lost out on a lot of opportunities. I could have played Division I, I could have played at a lot of schools, but my grades were bad. I was ineligible for a year, I dropped out for a year, and then if it wasn't for my friend group picking me up, I probably would have played college basketball. College ends, don't have anything, I take 2 years off, and then my good buddy reaches out to me, he's like, Evergreen State College, they lost like 10 guys, and I haven't played like tough ball in a long time. And he's like, you come down. And I was probably 225 pounds, and I should have been like 180, 190. So I went there, and I was playing against these high school kids, and they were just running past me. And this is a school that offered me a scholarship when I was at Bellevue, but I was too cool, and I didn't want to trust the process because I was D1, right? 4-year basketball is legit wherever you are, and JUCO. We both played JUCO. You guys know where he played after JUCO? Missouri, right? That's a Power 5 school. Not only did he walk on there, he started and played important minutes. So JUCO is legit. So there was that, and then I worked myself back into shape, and I went from, hey, that to I started probably 85% of my games my junior year and my senior year. I had a stress fracture in my shin and my tibia, and it ended my college career. So before that, I had about 3 offers to go play overseas, but like I say, life happens, and it's about trusting the process. Yes, I wanted to be a professional basketball player, but if I did not fail at being a professional basketball player, I would not be able to have the opportunity to have an impact on so many youth kids as a coach. This is what I love. This is my passion, is being here. Brian's my guy through and through. He's like, hey, we got a youth camp. You want to come work it? I'm like, done. Let me know. And I told him I'll be here as long as it's during this day. So where did I start, right? Nothing. And then I had a bunch of guys I went to high school with that all played over me. I was the only one that had an opportunity to play professional basketball from my high school team that I didn't start a game, or I didn't play my first 3 games. So where you guys are now is just starting your basketball journey. Like DK, he's going to have so many different obstacles that are going to pop up, and he's just going to have to get past them and trust the process, because that goal that you want to attain, you got to be there for every step of the way, positive or negative. So when I talk to kids that are young, your guys' age, it's trust the process. You're not going to be perfect now. You're never going to be perfect. So as I end, and this is like the biggest thing, I coach freshman football, and I was the high school basketball coach at Eastlake. I resigned in June. Sports and life is about failure, right? Ask your parents, right? They failed to get to where they are to be successful because that adversity makes you change your process to get better. Because if you continue doing the same thing over and over, what's that called? Insanity, right? So by trusting that process, I'm here with the opportunity to talk amongst 100 kids, telling about my journey. All right? Thank you.